Hello and welcome guys, I am Shieda and in today's video we are taking a look at the mod called Viceheim that adds a bunch of new weapons. So as usual, please do remember to leave that like and the subscribe always up the channel, and without more delays, let's jump into the video. I will start the video by showing you this great sword. It's pretty cool, the design. The only thing I have to tell about this design is that I would love that the red inside of the sword, it would like have a little bit of a flow instead of just being like straight up there like holding the sword. I would love it to be a little bit more fluid, like a particle that you can really see moving. I think that would make a huge difference in the sword, but as it is, it's also pretty cool, and don't take that as a bad thing, because as it is, it's pretty nice. To craft this sword, you'll need 40 crystal, 40 obsidian, 10 settling cores and 10 ruby. It's fairly easy because the things are not so difficult to find, but you know, it kind of requires a lot of them. So overall it's pretty okay. I think it's balanced it out. And one of the cool things about the sword is that it does a slash damage of 75 and it does a fire damage of 100 and a spirit damage of 60. So that is pretty awesome. And again, you can upgrade this, and I am not upgrading this one. I'm gonna go jump into the fight straight away and see how this behaves. Okay, so I had to change armor. The first thing that doesn't exist, I'm sorry guys. The first thing that I want to see is the parry of this thing. So yeah, you still take a little bit of a damage, but yeah, I'm not using any mods anyway, and I think that was pretty bad. Let me actually just step out of him. So I'm gonna parry and just attack after that. Here we go. It takes quite a bit of damage, so yeah. The sword is pretty strong, actually, not gonna lie, and that's the fire damage. I didn't even manage to do the full combo, but yeah, you guys see the struggle around there because, well, I can't really parry. I don't have a shield, so I just need to kind of bait this guy in. This is the special attack, which is pretty okay. There we go, that was pretty lucky. And yeah, the animations are pretty cool. And also keep in mind that I am using with this mod pack dual wield because it recommends you to actually use it. So yeah, there's that. The next weapon, it's a great axe. It's called Invidia. I think it's Invidia if I'm not mistaken. And this is how it looks. Again, I'll say the same thing about the yellow thing, that it's just gathering the weapon together. I would love that to flow, but that's you already know. And that's a pretty cool detail that you have a little bit of stars on top of the axe. I don't know why the stars are there, but I do like to see that. I think it's a pretty nice touch, and let's see how you craft this thing. Crafting recipe of the great axe is 35 crystal, 25 obsidian, 2 mother trophy and 5 thunderstone. So again, this one is a little bit more expensive to create. Overall, it just makes sense because this has a slash damage of 17, which is not maybe much, I guess, but the lighting damage of this is 150, and that's quite a bit. So yeah, let's jump into the fighting now. Eugene's, it's such a pain in the ass. I feel like you guys feel the same way about me whenever I'm asking for a subscribe, don't you? I'm sorry guys, I just had to put this in. Let's just go for the fight now. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I did struggle a little bit in the last weapon, so I did upgrade this to the max, and the only thing that changed, it was that it added burst damage of 18, so I don't know if that's gonna be enough. And yeah, so this is made to actually deal with multiple targets. As you can see, this is the special attack with the lighting damage, which is pretty cool. And yeah, also I want to check the parry, because that's also important. That's pretty nice actually. And yeah, I feel like the weapons are fairly balanced. They don't like are that strong, if that makes sense. I'm not using a lot of mods on this showcase as well, but yeah, this one is max upgrade and I think it's way stronger. And yeah, it just helps you a little bit with the killing and all of that. Next weapon, it's called Luxuria, and yeah, this is a two-handed weapon again, and I will say the same thing about the thing that's holding on the weapon. And what is pretty cool is that you actually see some kind of hearts coming out of the sword. I don't know why, I don't really get the reference of that, but they look pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. And let's jump into the crafting recipe of this weapon. So how do you craft the sight? You need 8 ancient bark, 35 crystal, 25 obsidian and 20 dragon tears. Again, there's a lot of ingredients here that are very easy to get, you know, even if the quantity is pretty big. And yeah, there's one or two that are more complicated, but besides that, there's nothing really to worry about, I think. Spirit damage of 60, frost damage of 100 and slash damage of 100. So overall this is pretty high, I guess, but yeah, I've upgraded my to level 4, I think it's the maximum, or level 3, I think it's the maximum, and it only gave me pierce damage of level 12. None of the other states changed, so yeah, that's what we have, and let's jump into fighting again. So there we are. I am gonna use this against a lot of enemies again because that's what they are made of, and that's pretty cool. It does a pretty good amount of damage, I'm not gonna lie. And the frost is also pretty high. Again, let me just go ahead and check the parry. It's pretty okay. Again, you're fighting multiple enemies, so that overall just makes sense. And this would be a 3 combo. It's pretty cool. The animations are different because of the dual wield, I think. So that's also a plus. And yeah, you can always like download that mod if you want, but if you don't really want, you don't really have to. You can use this without the mod anyway. It's just a recommendation, and I can understand why, and you will see later on in the video why as well. This is a bit unusual, but what I have to show you next are two things: a staff, which you can see and which is pretty cool, and also a shield. They are made out of the same things in the same colors, if that makes sense. So I think they are something that you pair with, which is a pretty cool thing. And keep in mind that this staff will do range damage. I mean, it will not do range damage, it's just range. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So let's jump into the crafting recipe of these two things as well. So how do you craft the staff? You need 8 ancient bark, 50 crystal, 50 obsidian, and 5 stone golem trophies. Again, the stone golem trophy gotta be the hardest thing to kind of get. So yeah, I think this is one of the best weapons of the mod pack, I'm not gonna lie. And the reason for that is that it has a blunt damage of 20, a slash damage of 60, and a pierce damage of 50 again. So you have a mix of damage in this stuff, which is pretty cool. And the other thing is that you will do 50 fire damage, 50 frost damage, 50 lightning damage, 50 poison damage, and 50 spirit damage. So this is like the ultimate weapon. It doesn't matter what monster you're fighting. If you have this stuff, you will kill the guy regardless, because whatever it is that he's weak to, you have it on this stuff. So that's pretty much it. And then for the shield, we have a block armor of 100 and a block force of 100, and that's pretty much it. Crafting this is 8 ancient bark, 35 crystals, 25 obsidian, and 5 dragon tears. So again, this is not so hard, and let's jump into the fighting with this thing. So this is gonna be a pretty tricky one to kind of show you, because we have a lot of things to talk about. I said this was the strongest one, but at the same time, it might not be, and we will see in a reason. So this is a 3-hit combo. The animations are pretty sick. I think they are from dual wield. It does a lot of damage, and that's a lot of frost, but you have a lot of downfalls, and one of them is that your shield doesn't parry, even if I try. So I'm gonna try to parry. Doesn't. It only blocks. And you can tell me, why are you walking? I am not walking. I'm gonna press the walk key. This is walking. So yeah, you are really slow. And if you ask me if I'm running, yes, I'm pressing shift, and I am not running as fast as I once was. And you can see that my stamina is being deployed. So that's pretty much the downfall of that. But yeah, if you just attack him, you're gonna do so much damage. And so that's pretty much it. And then you have a special attack. This thing rotates and it heals you and it increases your healing rate. So yeah, again, that's pretty sick to see. It's a good, cool special attack. I'm sorry guys, I don't know why I'm not able to say the words that I want to say. But yeah, I overall feel like you can still get away with this, because it does a lot of frost damage and you can slow the target pretty hard, you know. So yeah, but I do love the fact that he tried to balance this with make you really slow. But again, I feel like healing, then you have like slow fire and all of the other aspects of the game. It's just way too much. I feel like this is pretty strong anyway, but I like the idea that he had around the stuff and the shield, so that's pretty cool to see. So again, we have another combo of weapons, which is the sword, which is actually pretty cool. That sword is pretty nice, and the shield is also pretty nice. So one was made out of the lunar eclipse, something like that, and this is made out of like the sun, if that makes sense. So I think overall it's just a pretty good idea, and it looks pretty sick as well. So let's jump into the crafting recipe. Sword of Pride, it's the name: slash damage of 60, fire damage of 60, and spirit damage of 60. 25 crystal, 25 obsidian, 20 amber. I think the amber was a good call here because it's yellow, and 5 settling cores. And again, you have the shield, which is a set effect. You feel rested. Health and stamina regen is in higher. Health regen plus 50 and stamina regen plus 100. The difference between this shield and the other one is that, well, the parry bonus is 1.5 times, so you can actually parry with this thing. This increases your movement speed and the block force of this is lower, and the block armor as well is a little bit lower than the other one. So I'm going to show you that I actually have the set effect. So if you use the sword with the shield, you will have the set effects. You can see here, warm, you are warm, stamina regen plus 100. So I'm figuring this is still being developed, but it's working for now. And yeah, so you know what the shield does, and one thing that I think is pretty cool and that you can actually use together, it's Gula Blade of, I don't know the name, I'm not gonna say, which is this spear that you can see in here. Again, I'm using dual wield. Without dual wield, you can't really just use these two things together. And I'm gonna give you the crafting recipe really fast. You need 8 ancient bark, 35 crystal, 25 obsidian, and 25 tar. This is a little bit more accessible, I would say, especially maybe without the tar, I guess. So pierce damage of 100, that's a lot of pierce damage, and a fire damage of 100. So yeah, we are gonna jump into the battle and test the double weapons. I don't think I'm gonna test the shield because, well, that's pretty obvious what it does. So yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna use the goblin to test this, and you will see why I'm so eager to test this, because it's actually pretty cool. And this is just all due to the dual wield mod. So if you install that with this mod, you will really benefit from a really cool thing, which is this, what I'm going to show you next. So let me just, come on, okay, and free combo. Look at these animations. Aren't those animations sick? Look at that. I am a ninja. That's pretty sick, man. And there's also a special attack, which is something like this, and that's pretty awesome as well. This is all about dual wield. If you do not install dual wield, you will not have these like sick animations. But like, goddamn, if this is not cool, right? It's just swinging a lot of stuff at the same time. I feel like if it was me, I would have been dead already. And as usual, the video is over. Subscribe.